Annie woke up suddenly to find that her beloved family dog had mysteriously vanished. Spotting the dog's fur scattered on plastic bags strewn across the floor, she froze in shock. The dog's untimely demise triggered a premature birth, but the arrival of her child filled the woman with dread. Her husband suffered from sleepwalking, and she feared he might harm the baby just as he had hurt the dog. At night, Annie huddled in the bathtub with her newborn, hoping it would provide a safe haven. But in the dead of night, a sudden knocking at the door sent shivers down her spine, and she didn't dare make a sound. Cautiously opening the door, she discovered her husband urinating in the living room. His bizarre behavior led her to suspect that his condition might be more than just sleepwalking. Desperate for answers, Annie invited a shaman to their home. Upon meeting her husband, the shaman sensed the danger lurking within him. He inquired if any of Annie's male friends had recently passed away, suggesting that finding the deceased friend was the key to exorcising the evil spirit possessing her husband. Annie began investigating recent deaths within her social circle but found no leads. The following morning, as she gazed out the window, Annie noticed a neighbor walking their dog. Lost in thought, she realized she hadn't seen the elderly man who lived downstairs with his dog in a long time. Determined to check on him, she grabbed some dog food and headed downstairs, only to discover that the old man had indeed passed away. A chilling realization dawned on her. The spirit possessing her husband could very well be that of the deceased neighbor. Gripped by fear, she spent a sleepless night. When her husband awoke to find his wife with bloodshot eyes, he urged her to get some rest. Upon waking, Annie rushed to check on her daughter, only to find her missing. Seeing her husband stirring a pot on the stove, she frantically lifted the lid, relieved to find only pork ribs inside. Just then, her husband emerged from the bedroom, cradling their child. Noticing his wife's burns, he hurried to the fridge for medicine, but Annie grabbed the pot and knocked him unconscious. She tied him up and admitted him to the hospital. After 3 weeks of medical treatment, her husband's sleepwalking symptoms gradually subsided. Just as they thought their happy life could resume, he returned home to find the walls plastered with talismans. Annie remained convinced that something evil resided within him. She revealed that her own sleepwalking had ceased due to a talisman the shaman had placed on her back. Instructing her husband to open the fridge, he was horrified to find the remains of the neighbor's dog inside. Annie had brutally killed the dog, believing it would provoke the deceased old man's spirit to reveal itself. While her husband retched in the bathroom, he discovered the old man's daughter tied up in the bathtub. Annie burst in, wielding a power drill, dragging the girl out. Without hesitation, she switched on the tool, determined to force the old man's spirit to leave her husband's body. Witnessing his wife's desperate attempt to save him, he pretended to transform into the old man, staggering towards the window before collapsing, saving the girl's life. In Annie's eyes, she saw the old man's spirit depart from her husband's body. The trauma of her husband's sleepwalking, coupled with the agony of childbirth, had triggered postpartum depression in Annie, ultimately leading to this exorcism fiasco.